Most of the news this past week has been talking about Donald Trump's disastrous week and his continuously falling support from people in the wake of his recent press conferences that, again, turned out to be massive disasters. But it's important to remember that this man is still the president of the United States. He still has influence over Congress, and he is still pushing policies in this country. And while he may have fewer allies than he did a week ago, he still has some allies in Congress on certain issues, and one of those very important issues is tax reform. Right now, Donald Trump, Paul Ryan, and the rest of the Republican cabal in Washington, D.C. are pushing forward with a tax cut package, the majority of which would go to people making more than $1 million a year already. More than half of the proposed tax cuts in this tax reform package are going to go to people who don't need the money to begin with. These are Wall Street hedge fund managers, corporate CEOs, business owners who are doing well. And they're all people who use our roads, our bridges, our schools, our fire departments, our police departments. Our military keeps them safe. And yet we don't think as a country, at least Republicans don't, that they should have to pay more in taxes just because they make more money. Republicans think that that's punishing the job creators. And I'm not just talking about Republican politicians. Go online, you will see these comments from the Republican base. People who have dirt floors in their homes because they're so poor think that we should still cut taxes on millionaires because they're the job creators. They're the great ones. Why should we punish them when we're not punishing all those black people living on welfare? It's racism, folks. Racism is what drives these Republicans to be in favor of tax cuts for the wealthy and in favor of cutting back on welfare and unemployment benefits and after-school programs. That is at the heart of all of it. The economic woes of those white people who voted for Donald Trump are rooted in racism, and that's what's coming out today, and that is how these Republicans convince these backwoods redneck Republicans to support these tax cuts for the wealthy. And those of us who've paid attention to modern American history understand what a disaster this is going to be. Every single time we cut taxes for the wealthy, we end up in a recession. It's like clockwork, folks. It can't be helped. It can't be stopped. You reduce tax revenue, you give more money to the wealthy people, then suddenly everybody suffers because there's a recession. It will happen again if Donald Trump and Paul Ryan go through with this disastrous tax plan. So that is why we need to remember, while there are a lot of distractions, some of them more worthy than others of our attention, we cannot lose sight of the fact that these Republicans, as dirty and disgusting as they are still trying to push these horrible policies on the entire country. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see here on Ring of Fire, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. You can see the little subscribe button down there, but if you're watching it on another device where you can't see it, go to youtube.com/TheRingOfFire, hit subscribe, be notified every time we get a new video.